Disney, where dreams come true. And Activision, where dreams go to die, even though they just announced a new Spyro game. And Tiertex Design Studios, whoever they are. Yeah, hey guys, this is Bumpy Gaming back here once again. Yeah, this is exactly what it looks like. Toy Story Racer on the Game Boy Color. And I feel like I don't need to say why I'm uploading this particular video on this particular day. Especially if you're planning on going to the movies soon. Right? You probably have a good idea of what movie you're going to see. Maybe it's, Last Whale Singer? Anyways, yeah, Toy Story Racer on the Game Boy Color. I've played this game before. Yeah, I used to play it frequently during, well, for anyone who remembers the MacBook era of this channel. Yeah, I used to play it on OpenEMU a lot. Yeah, but now we're revisiting this on a Windows PC, because Windows is superior. Is what I would be saying if they didn't put all that bloat in Windows 11. Anyways, yeah, I guess we can do a tournament here. Yeah, I was doing quick races to make sure this ran okay, which I probably didn't even need to do that. Well, actually, no, I kind of did, because you're probably thinking this is MGBA, which emulates all the generations of Game Boy, and no, it's not. It's actually an emulator called Mesen, M-E-S-E-N. Yeah, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance are both part of this, but so is like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Master System, I think TurboGrafx as well. Yeah, and it has a rewind feature just like... Yeah, because I tried playing this on MGBA, and like the graphics were just kind of fucked up, to the point where it would be like slightly seizure-inducing, so I'm playing this on Mesen where those issues won't be present. Yeah, I might switch over my Game Boy emulations to here, honestly. Yeah, you know, actually, I'll leave a link to Mesen down in the description, because I kind of feel like it doesn't get talked about that much. Yeah, that's besides the point, though. Tournament. Andy's house, the bedroom bash. We got Buzz, got Woody, got Bo Peep, and Mr. Potato Head. We'll start with Buzz here. I love how Bo Peep just has a blank stare on the Etch-a-Sketch. You got Woody and Buzz doing their smiles, then Potato Head looking like a groper, and then Bo Peep is just blankly staring like a Bob's Burgers character. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm always... Whenever I play a Game Boy Color game, I'm always somewhat off-put by how smooth the animations are. Like, you know, animations, like, that smooth. It's not something you would expect from, like, 8-bit graphics. You know, you never see, like, NES games moving this smoothly. Yeah, like, when I was... You know, because back when I had my MacBook, I was playing a lot of, like, the Game Boy Colors shovelware. And yeah, it was scary to me, you know, how smooth some of the shit was. Ah, frick. Yeah, that graphic kind of looks like the Wii wheel. Yeah, for those who remember playing Mario Kart on the Wii, or any racing game on the Wii for that matter. You know, or at least the ones where you had to, like, hold the Wii remote sideways and just rotate it. And before anyone asks, yes, I have played the console version of Toy Story Racer. Or should I say, like, the PS1 version. I mean, it's an alright game. It's just a little too bouncy for my taste. Just a bit too bouncy for a kart racer in general. I know some people who do actually like that about the game, but me personally, I'm not a fan of that aspect. And as for this game, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little novel to see, like, you know, like, no, not exactly 3D, but, like, 3D converted to 2D on the Game Boy Color to create the illusion of 3D. You know, but ultimately it sort of plays out like more of a tech demo than an actual game. Which, I mean, yeah, you know, Pixar kind of got their start in tech demos, so to have a game like this, which is like pushing the technology, pushing a form of technology even further, you know, I suppose it is pretty cool. And I know nobody likes to speak nice of this guy anymore, but and for good reason, but as John Lasseter used to say, art challenges technology, technology inspires the art. You know, I feel like if this were a Game Boy Advance game, it'd be more like a traditional racing game, you know? Oh, we're on lap 3 already. Damn, these tracks are kind of long. Yeah, between the soothing music and the oddly mesmerizing graphics, I mean, you know, this game is not really a great game by any means, but I kind of vibe with it in a weird way. You know, you give me graphics like these, you give me like very primitive graphics like these, I'm inevitably going to have a good time regardless of the quality of the game. I mean, unless very specific circumstances, you know, I am going to have a good time regardless. It's like I always say, limitations create innovations. I love how Bo just keeps creeping up behind me. Here I am creeping up behind Woody. Woody X Buzz Toxic Yowie. That's basically Toy Story 1. Yeah, now I'm thinking of like that YouTube poop of the first Toy Story, where they sentence mix Randy Newman to say, "Suck my motherfucking dick!" I think all the other racers were just starting the third lap. Holy fuck. Perfect race. Oh, party time. Did I unlock any new characters? I did not. Maybe the game will tell me if I do. Anyways, let's do Woody riding on RC. Look, guys! Woody's riding RC! And Buzz is with him! Yeah, like, even just that animation of, like, Woody, you know, taking off his hat and waving it, that's cool. God, how is Woody, like, even... I mean, unless RC is, like, driving himself. And, you know, Woody's just holding on to the side so that he can stay on. Still, I mean, you'd think he'd have, like, a seatbelt or something. We're going down the stairs. Fuck. Frickle. And how do we get up the stairs that easily? Yeah, the best way I can describe the graphics of this game, it's like, it's fascinating, if a bit unimpressive. Which, I mean, fascinating is probably a stronger word than impressive, but I hope you at least get what I'm trying to say. You know, it's a standard Mario Kart clone, but it does have some decent things going for it. Also, yeah, since I brought up Toy Story 5 earlier, yeah, who's excited to see Woody with a beer belly and a poncho to cover up said beer belly? Yeah, Woody's gonna become like a top-rated DILF. Wait, what? I mean, I'm kind of just excited for Toy Story 5 in general. You know, the whole message of, you know, toys versus electronics. Yeah, it's something that I feel is kind of needed in today's society. You know, with how many people are glued to their devices nowadays. Like, I heard there was going to be a scene in the movie of, like, Bonnie tomb scrolling. Which, that sounds like the funniest shit ever to me. Oh, third left. Damn. And, you know, even like Toy Story 5, you know, because the movie's gonna be centered around Jessie, and I heard like apparently like she's gonna go back to her, you know, to the house where like her previous owner Emily used to live. Yeah, so it's good to tie up some of the loose ends with her character. You know, that was always a flaw I had with the Halloween special, Toy Story of Terror. You know, it focused on Jessie, but like didn't really. It could have done more, I feel. You know, to see Toy Story 5 taking a stab at, you know, giving Jessie a, like completing Jessie's arc. That's cool. You know, it's kind of like how Toy Story 4 was almost like a completion of Woody's story. Time to make a 6-hour-long video about why Toy Story 4 is worse than insert historical tragedy here. Oh, there's Buzz. Oh, and there's Bo. Coming to ram your bitch ass. God, I remember when Toy Story 4 was coming out and they were going to make Bo a twist villain. Or no, I mean, I remember reading rumors that Bo was going to be a twist villain, which, yeah, I can't say I would have been happy with that. Probably something that John Lasseter would have wanted to do. Oh, another perfect race. Yeah, helped by my trusty rewind. Okay, now we're on a Pizza Planet track called Fast Food. Oh, I can't use Buzz here? Let's see, Woody, Bo, Potato Head. Okay, why can I not use Buyback? What? Okay. I'll just play Bo Peep for now. Okay, the alien is a racer, apparently. Or the LGM, the little green man. And the reason I know that is because, you know, I watched the Buzz Lightyear, you know, cartoon show when I was a kid. And I remember they used to call the aliens the little green men. Like, is that canon to Toy Story lore that the aliens exist in the same universe as Buzz? Yeah, because I know the TV show kind of had its own separate continuity. You know, but it's not like... Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think here. It's like, you know, because as we know from the 2022 movie Lightyear, you know, Buzz, the toy, is based on Buzz Lightyear, the character from that movie that Andy saw when he was a kid. Yeah, so I guess they made the cartoon based on that movie, which introduced the little green men. I guess as like the little comic reliefs, you know, for the kiddies, you know, sell merchandise. And by golly, it worked because, you know, Pizza Planet has that whole crane-operated rocket ship, you know, with the alien toys inside. But then it's like the aliens referring to Buzz as a stranger. You know, how would they even recognize? I mean, especially if Buzz, you know, Buzz straight from the factory thinking he's a real space ranger. You know, you would think that the aliens would also have, and when Buzz, when Buzz, you know, like when he first arrives in Andy's room, he already has knowledge of like Emperor Zurg and Star Command and all that shit. So you'd think he would know the little green. I mean, unless this was before the. Yeah, so if Buzz has all that knowledge, then I feel like the little green aliens, you know, should know. Yeah, I feel like they should know who Buzz is. Yeah, I feel like they should know who Buzz is. Yeah, especially if they refer to Buzz as like a stranger from the outside. Oh. The Claw's our master. The Claw chooses who will go and who will stay. Actually, wait, I want to show... Okay, there's an invincibility thing. Also, I gotta say, I like how the UI looks different. You know, how the UI looks different every time you're playing as a different character. That's cool. Oh yeah, I wanted to show off this steering wheel thing. It like inverts the controls. Oh, wait, no, I think that there's another item I was thinking of that inverted the control. Oh, maybe it's because I was invincible. That's why it didn't work. Oh, yeah, I barely even talked about this track. Yeah, Pizza Planet. This probably, between this and the Annie's Room track, I'd say this has the more... I think this has more, impressive graphics. Okay, it was this item. I'd say this has more impressive graphics merely because, black background. You put a bunch of colors in front of a black background, it's going to be like the most memorizing shit ever. Fuck. Yeah, that always throws me off. Even when it ends, it throws me off. Yeah, again, I do wonder, if this was a Game Boy Advance game, it would probably feel closer to, traditional-ass Mario Kart. And the race is over. It's probably going to be another Pizza Planet track. Oh, Planet Pop, of course. Do I have any new characters? Oh, no, I don't. Yeah, I'll try Potato Head, then. Oh, I got 2 aliens this time. Yeah, so I guess it's like 2 tracks per area. Oil slick. Fuck. Okay, this part where I'm driving on the tables is kind of cool. Also, I just realized Potato Head's car, is that supposed to be like a potato sack? Because if so, that's that's fucking inspired. Man, all these music tracks, I'm sure Randy Newman would be proud. Toy Story Racer at Pizza Planet. You gotta race or you gotta fucking die. You gotta drive while eating pizza or you'll get in a fucking crash. You'll get in a fucking crash because you were eating pizza and driving. Gotta be a bunch of toys driving in a pizza restaurant. You gotta drive, but don't eat any pizza. Don't eat any pizza, you'll get distracted and you'll die in a car crash. You gonna die if you don't play Toy Story Racer on the Game Boy Color. And you're also gonna die if you compare the box office of Toy Story 5 and Millions and Monsters. Animation is not a competition. You spend too much time online. Stop doom scrolling and go touch some motherfucking grass. Go touch some fucking grass, you degenerate. You're a fucking degenerate. Shut the fuck up about Paramount and Warner Brothers merging. Because you people let mergers affect your mental health. And it's annoying as fuck, it's annoying as fuck, it's annoying as fuck because you don't leave your fucking house. You don't leave your fucking house. And if you let studio mergers get to you like that, I mean, I don't like the idea of Paramount and Warner Brothers merging, but, you know, movies are still gonna be made. And, you know, if you let it get to you like that, you'll die alone. Unless you see a fucking therapist, then maybe there's still hope for you. But until then, enjoy your privileged life. Because clearly you don't have anything else to worry about in your stupid fucking life. You are stupid. You are... Yeah, the race is over. Oh, another Pizza Planet track. Pepperoni Extreme. Anyone new? No. No, I think I'll go Potato Head again, because... Well, also in Toy Story 5, Potato Head is now gonna be voiced by Jeff Bergman. You know, the guy, well, one of many voice actors for like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Yeah, he was the first guy. You know, he was the first guy to like voice the Looney Tunes characters. You know, after Mel Blanc passed away. And he does like a damn good Don Rickles impression. I've seen like a YouTube short of him doing that impression, and it's cool. Oh, what a ramp! I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this music is really the right fit, you know, for a track that has, like, you know, very, I don't want to say dark colors, but I mean there's, like, a black background, and the, you know, the shades of, like, blue and purple are more, I mean, they're not really clashing with it, but it's, like, it's sort of adding to a darker atmosphere, almost. Yeah, so maybe something, like, more, maybe a more surreal music track would fit this place. You know, not something cheery and upbeat like this, you know? Oh, shit. I ran into Turbo the Snail. Yeah, remember that movie? Your grandfather told you about Turbo the Snail. Yeah, I'm not going to do a Randy Newman song cover this time. I mean, I kind of felt that wasn't the best Randy Newman impression for me. I've done it better before, and I was only able to do it that good because, you know, I was quoting, like, I was singing, like, actual songs like, "You got a friend in me," or, like, "I can't let you throw yourself away." Or even the YouTube poops, like, "Suck my motherfucking dick!" You know? I can only do so much. You know, then that's the weird thing, too, with impressions. You know, when you have, like, lines like that, the voices come out better. You know, when you make up your own lines, that's when it becomes a bit of a challenge. Because now you gotta match, like, the characters', like, speech patterns and shit. You can suck my fucking dick. I had to get that in there. You're a loser if you let studio mergers affect your well-being. I said this in my Smash Bros. NES video, but I mean, if you're the kind of guy who's like, who's letting your well-being be, I don't like that Paramount and Warner Brothers are looking to merge either, but like, if you're the kind of guy who lets this shit get to you, like, mentally, well, first of all, get some fucking help, and also, maybe get a job and a life, because it doesn't sound very interesting if that's what's getting to you emotionally. Oh, I think I just realized I was supposed to be like the Green Army men in a plane. Rest in peace, Arlie Ermy, too. And Don Rickles. Yeah, street racing. How much footage have I gotten here? Wow, almost 30 minutes. I think this is a good place to end it. Yeah, on a glitched fucking backdrop here. Though, trust me, this would look a lot worse on MGBA. In fact, you know what? After this recording, I'm going to go into MGBA. And you know what? We'll do like a BAM image flash of what this screen looks like on MGBA.
Yeah, hey guys, this is editing Bumpy right here. You know, MGBA, when I tried playing Toy Story Racer on it, it was like glitching a lot, so naturally I assumed that that the freaking track selection would be glitching too, but nope, it doesn't seem to be there. It just is very highly saturated. And yeah, that's another reason I switched over to Misen for this. You know, the colors weren't as saturated and it wasn't as big of an eyesore. You know, colors were more muted, you know. Yeah, but I'm pulling up some gameplay footage on the screen, albeit in black and white, so you can see how glitchy it is without getting too much of a seizure. And yeah, I think 45, almost 50 seconds in, yeah, I think this pretty much gets the point across, so let's get rid of this footage.
Yeah, so anyways, Toy Story Racer on the Game Boy Color. I'm gonna be honest, it's actually a little trippy. It's fairly enjoyable. I feel like if I was a kid who had a Game Boy but not a PlayStation and really wanted to play Toy Story Racer but couldn't play the PlayStation version because I only had the Game Boy Color, then yeah, I mean, I'd be moderately satisfied with this. Like, this kind of has the vibes of a game that I would play, like, late at night with the volume turned down, you know, after my parents are asleep. You know, while my parents are asleep, I should say. Yeah, I used to do that with my DS a lot back in the day. Yeah, so until next time, this is Bumpy Gaming going back under the bed. And remember, there are fates worse than death, such as doing all the things that Randy Newman said you shouldn't.